This is GPT Realtime, which is a voice model. And they've made an update which allows it to dynamically control your apps.
Command AI.
I want to show you a few ways to build with our real-time voice API so that your users can interact with the application more naturally with voice. This includes things like changing your settings, filling out forms, or even playing a game of chess. Let's say I run a website for a company and I want to improve the accessibility by adding some kind of voice widget. The pattern here is that using the real-time API with function calling, I can control my application state. The model can talk to me using notifications, and it can also update the interface directly by calling tools that I've defined. This is not computer use or screen scraping. The application owns the state, and the model calls these functions that change that state. In this demo, I've even added a cursor just to show the user what's happening on the screen. Let's start with a practical example. Here, I've defined a simple application with a wake word and the ability to go from light mode to dark mode. Hey, chat, can you go to dark mode? Can you go back to light mode?
So
it's that simple. Now let's go into the form demo. Here, I can fill out a form using just my voice. My name is Jason Liu. My birthday is March 27, 1994. And can you make sure that I accept the terms? Great, can you submit that form?
But my understanding is you could build this into your website or app and it will just do things where you ask it. However, this, because whilst I was watching this, I was thinking, well, surely this now exists on the layer, above the app, like Clicky, which is, the thing we demonstrated at the beginning of the show, like Comet browser or Dia browser or whatever, or computer use with Claude Code. Surely this exists a lot higher. Whereas this is saying you can build it into the app experience to call certain functions. But does this person have to build a function to be able to write the name in, or build a function to have to write their birthday into that field? Or is it some sort of screenshot thing? I don't know. So I'm not too sure.
Now, every time I move a piece, I want you to respond automatically. Can you do that for me?
So now it's just a real time. So he uses the application, from what I understand, and the application responds back.
Actions all by itself. Now let's reset the board.
How much of this do you need to build yourself?
I'm not sure.
And if that was a website, why wouldn't you just use Claude Code with it? But it's cool. Don't get me wrong.
The real time, I think, is the point. So it's kind of like always on thing in a way. Does that make sense? That's my understanding.
Real-time voice component. React browser voice controls for tool-constrained UIs built on OpenAI real-time. Oh, okay, so it's built on top of real-time. Is it 1.5? You said it was 1.5, but this looks like a whole new thing though. GPT Realtime 1.5, so users control app state more naturally with voice. It's interesting. I honestly think this is one of those things where it'll be cool to play around with and see what you can actually do with it.
Is it like, can you have an application that builds its own UI based on what the user needs real time?
Your app defines the exact actions the assistant can take. So you need to build all of that stuff in. Tool state, app owned and narrow. The UI remains responsible for the visual state change. You want a React-friendly controller and an optional launcher widget. So I think you do need to build the responses in. And this is just a nice way to basically, it handles the understanding and turns that into essentially tool calls that bind to, here we go, reusable controller with binding. So it binds to certain actions. So you have to build that bridge, but it does the heavy lifting of interpreting what the user says and which it's like an MCP in some ways, I think.
Can you open a new tab and go to Edgar Allen, please? They have this agentic mode where you ask something and then it sends the response to an AI, and then you see how you get like these pieces of the UI. All of these are predefined. So from my understanding, or like there's a set of predefined one and the AI responses with what it best understands. And
you could work it into this website, I think, but it wouldn't be the same sort of functionality. I think it would literally be, on their form. Let's say get in touch. You could navigate this form with your voice. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to explain this correctly, but there's two, like, the real time happens in the voice, but it would call a defined set of functions or tools or something like that, right? So the real time happens in the voice, whereas what Edgar Allen have right now, the real time happens after you've typed it in. So it's the content itself is dynamic. So whilst you could probably do that using GPT Realtime, it's not really what it's intended to do, because this is probably RAG storage of some description where it's understood it's both understanding what we're saying, so we could type in a bunch of typos in the text box, but it's all like, I don't think it will always, I don't know, actually. It might not always write the same bit of text.
You can correct me, but I think the responses are pretty much predefined.
I've just said,
it's the route. Yeah.
So there is an element of, why does Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. There's still a little bit of AI generated stuff. Yeah, there's a middle ground here where I think GPT Realtime would help, but it wouldn't be getting the most out of it. Just there are probably simpler ways to give this voice interactivity just by using voice to text, just a voice to text model. I think what and again, I'm not saying that Edgar Allen couldn't use GPT Realtime 1.5. I'm just saying it wouldn't be the best use case because you're seemingly able to bind to specific functions and actions, as opposed to what Edgar Allen do, which is actually it's still probably doing a bit of, it's got free reign a little bit to do whatever it needs to do, whereas you're locking voice actions down to specific functions with GPT Realtime, which has its own set of benefits and whatever. But all that to be said, there's a middle ground here where you could bring voice to this and do a bunch of stuff.
We should send this video to Mason. So if you are watching, we should have Mason on the show, and you can tell us how you made the website, and that would be really cool, and a bunch more about AI.
This is part of a larger conversation on my show, Cmd AI, which we stream live every single week. We discuss the news and all things related to AI in the world of design and web. Catch us next week and join in the banter.
Cmd AI.